Well, the big international story and the protests in Hong Kong continue to intensify, and tens of thousands of protesters have gathered for a mass rally from Victoria Park to Charter Garden in Hong Kong. Now, for the first time, the police have, of course, banned the Civil Human Rights Front from holding a march from downtown Victoria Park to Central Business District. These are live visuals that we are getting now from Hong Kong of those hundreds of thousands of people thronging the streets of Hong Kong, protesting for the 11th straight week. Now, however, the police has granted permission for a rally at this park. Over the past 3 months, the Civil Human Rights Front has organized several demonstrations that drew millions of protesters to the park. Can hold about 100,000 people, and we can see large crowds already at this park in Hong Kong. And so these are the live visuals that we're getting, and absolutely no resolution in sight to that status quo between the Hong Kong protesters and the Chief Executive Carrie Lam on the demands that the residents of Hong Kong have from the government there. Meanwhile, armoured vehicles and Chinese paramilitary personnel have been stationed at Shenzhen city, which borders the Hong Kong region. The troops' deployment has raised concerns that Chinese are considering a military intervention in Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong had its first tear gas-free Saturday today after weeks, but 3 separate rallies are taking place in Kowloon. This is the 11th weekend, as we said, of protests in the city-state, with protesters continuing to demand the resignation of the Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam, democratic elections, and an independent investigation into the use of force by the police. Over the past 2 months, marches often started out peacefully but descended into violence, with protesters clashing with the police, who used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse the crowds. The unrest in Hong Kong, which began as a protest against the extradition bill, has now morphed into one of the biggest crises the Chinese President Xi Jinping has ever faced since he took power in 2012. And earlier we spoke to our correspondent Erin Hale, who is in Hong Kong. Listen.
Protesters by the thousands are blocking major roads for over 5 kilometers. They've started in Victoria Park, which still looks very full right now, and they're marching in both directions all the way to Central, which is about, as I said, 5 kilometers away. They're all carrying umbrellas because of heavy rain, but it is very peaceful and very calm. That's very hard to say as to what will happen tonight, but the emphasis of this rally has really been on nonviolence. This rally was organized by Civil Human Rights Front, which is a mainstream democratic coalition, and they're the ones that have organized the 1 in 2 million marches that we saw in June. So this is really ordinary Hong Kongers with families. These are normal people who are upset with police violence and with government inaction. Whether or not that will end later tonight in clashes is really hard to predict right now, but it's been extremely peaceful, and police have not really been seen anywhere in the area. However, there have been some reports, unconfirmed, from one cable news network that police have dispatched 2 crowd control vehicles into the area, but I have yet to see them. And there's no reason to use them right now. It's still extremely, extremely peaceful.